Hello, and welcome back to Whiskey Wednesday. Another Wednesday, another whiskey review with me, Joe. So, a couple of weeks ago, I took part in a Twitter tasting, and you go on Twitter, you get sent samples from kind of distilleries, brands, and everyone sits down on their computers around the world and writes about the whiskey. They're really, really good fun. I've done quite a few of them, and the tasting I did was an Overeem tasting, Overeem whiskey from Tasmania. Now, the guys have also sent me an awesome box of samples to review for this channel. So I will be reviewing these 4 over the next 4 weeks. Now, kind of New World whiskey is getting a huge amount of press recently in kind of the last couple of months here. A Taiwanese whiskey won Best Whiskey in the World, Kavalan Solist, the Vino Barrique Cask. Year before that, it was a Tasmanian whiskey that won Best Whiskey in the World, the Sullivan's Cove French Oak Matured. So there are some really world-class spirits coming out of these New World producers. Some of them are quite young distilleries, so Overeem's only been going since about 2007. It is quite young, but they know exactly what they're doing to make really good whiskey. Now I'm going to start here. I've got a sherry cask matured port, a sherry cask matured cask strength, port cask matured, and a port cask matured cask strength. I'm going to start off with the sherry cask matured, the 43% bottling. Come in these quite fancy bottles, quite cool, if I can get them out. Now the Twitter tasting, the tweet tasting was fantastic, really enjoyed that. It was the world premiere of their new bourbon cask matured, single cask. Now all of the whiskies they release are actually single cask releases, so there's always a limited number of them. Let me just pour it out. Well, just a sample. They also mature them in very small casks, because obviously they're a young distillery. You can't make a 10-year-old, 12-year-old, 15-year-old whiskey overnight in the regular size barrels. So what they do is they can use small quarter casks, a little bit like what Lafroig do. And if you use a smaller cask, you're getting much more wood interaction, and you can create a richer spirit and a richer whiskey in a shorter amount of time. They only use French oak and American oak. This is sherry cask matured, so they would have taken, you know, an American oak cask, filled it with sherry, seasoned it, and then filled it with spirit. The spirit they use has come from half peated barley, and the peat they use is Tasmanian peat, and they use some of the fantastic world-class award-winning barley as well. Anyway, let's get straight to the nose. Okay, on the nose. Oh, by the way, the Overeem whiskies are made at the Old Hobart distillery. I hope I'm saying that right. On the nose. It's quite soft. The alcohol doesn't jump out at you, it doesn't kind of immediately attack you with alcohol. It's quite kind of richly fruity. Now on the tweet tasting I got to try some of the new make, and the new make is incredibly rich, incredibly fruity. It's one of the best new makes I've ever tried. And it's because they have a really long fermentation time, which gives kind of a richer spirit. Anyway, so on the nose I'm getting, what's that, malt loaf? And a plum sauce. It's quite sweet. You get that kind of lovely kind of warming peat smoke coming through as well, just very gently. It's not a peaty whiskey, but you do get it a little bit. Just kind of earthy sweetness. Maybe it needs to be warmed up a little bit. Yeah, kind of plum pudding, malt loaf. You do get a fair amount of oak as well. So there's a kind of charred oak spice, kind of. Tell you what, it almost reminds me of bread and butter pudding. The kind of vanilla, the custard, and then there's kind of raisins, kind of warm cinnamon raisin notes coming through as well. Right, let's get to the taste. First thing to note, it's incredibly silky on the palate. When you finish it, you get a lovely bit of spice, a lovely bit of kind of oak char spice, that kind of pepper, the dryness, and that'll come from the kind of sherry influence as well. It's silky soft. Again, I'm getting that kind of malt loafy character coming through. Let's have another taste. A little bit of citrus, kind of orange peel, orange tang. Maybe a slight limey note on the finish as well. It is quite tangy, and you can tell it is quite a young spirit. However, there's a lot of flavour there. There is a lot of flavour, kind of upfront fruitiness, upfront oak spice as well. Let's have one more taste for the finish. Got a lovely kind of drying quality, and a little bit kind of salty smokiness again on the finish. Again, that's that kind of half peated stock of barley coming through, that kind of dry, smoky earthiness. Lovely. It's a kind of whiskey you could give to someone who wants to get into whiskey, because it's quite mellow. Doesn't kind of attack you. It's got a nice mouthfeel. It's soft. Yeah, really tasty. I'm really impressed. Score-wise, for that, I would give that a solid 7.5 out of 10. Really enjoyable whiskey. I can't wait to try the cask strength, because that's bottled at 60%, I believe. I think it's bottled at 60. We can check. That'll be next week's review. Yeah, 60% cask strength. So I'm looking forward to that, because that should give a lot more kind of intensity. Anyway, Overeem Sherry Cask Matured sample, 43%, 7.5 out of 10. If you've tried the Overeem whiskies, if you've tried any kind of New World whiskies, let me know. Leave me a comment in the box below, as you always do. Thank you so much for watching. Please share the video, and I will see you next week for yet another Overeem whiskey review. Cheers, guys. Bye-bye.